welcome to your favorite social media program, The Buzz. I am Rose Blossom Moye. Of course, we all know that Tinubu has presented a 49.96 trillion budget to the Joint National Assembly. But before that, I want to welcome you all to the program. And of course, remember this program runs from 12 noon to actually 1 p.m. and we always have amazing guests. Today's supposed to be lifestyle, of course, and relationship, which we would still be talking about, but we need to take this because this is very important. And of course, we have an analyst that will be joining us via Zoom. His name is Abiola Ali. He's an economic expert all the way from Ibadan. But before we ask him, and of course his reaction and analysis of the 2025 budget which was presented to the Joint National Assembly, let's quickly take a short report on actually what went down yesterday during the presentation, and we'll be right back to the studio to continue the program. Stay with us. For that report, can we have Abiola Ali all the way from Ibadan join us via Zoom, please? Can we have him on the screen? Do we have Abiola Ali, who is an economic expert from Ibadan? Can you join us so that I could ask my questions? Thank you. Okay, while we're waiting for that, let's quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll definitely get our analysis, of course, from the economic expert that will join us via Zoom. Stay with us, we'll be right back. So we're just going to continue the program. We have a Zoom guest gone already, but that's what actually went down yesterday, and we know what President Tinubu actually said. He said it's more the funding, the budget is more into infrastructure, the health sector, the student loan, of course, and also even our road, and of course the security and food security also is part of that. But hopefully, maybe even on Monday, we could have more analysis on this 2025 budget presented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But you know, let's go further into what we have for today, which is the lifestyle and relationship. And of course, we have a guest seated already. His name is Pastor James Olukesisi. He's a minister, a speaker, a writer, and an author. Welcome to the show, sir. It's good to have you again.
I'm pleased to be here once again.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to talk about social media and relationships, basically, because we know a lot of people tend to do a lot of competitions on social media, like who is more happy, who wears the best dress, who gets the more gifts, and all of that. And sometimes the newbies, the upcoming, the Gen Zs, even I feel like sometimes the millennia, you know, turn into like a competition to always want to meet up to that target also. They also want their man to do the same thing. And sometimes there's this weird challenge. They'll tell you, send a message to your boyfriend and tell him that you're done. Let's see his response. You know, a lot of things, and I know a lot of relationship has been broken because of that kind of test, because you're testing a man, you don't even know what is in his head. He might be showing you love, but at that point it's like you're even giving him enough reasons to take a walk. So, but what's your take about social media when there's this comparison, there's this validation they're always seeking online, and we know in reality what we see online is not what we see in our, so what would you say?
All right, the social media itself is not a bad thing. It's a platform which has helped many people to get married. It has its own pros and cons. And a lot of people have gotten married through social media, and a lot of long-distance relationships are made to become easy by social media. But these using social media to validate your relationship and using it, there are a lot of showmanship on social media.
Yeah.
A lot of usual packaging. Somebody is just trying to sell out what is not real, and the other person feeling so bad and lots of that. You know, so that's why a lot of people should be smart about handling social media.
Yeah.
Because this comparison, especially for women, women are they get easily moved by what they see. You know, and when their friends out there is portraying and showing, I'm living large, I'm living some cool life and lots of that, they feel under pressure, begin to put pressure on their boyfriend, put pressure on their husband, and in the course of that, they lose their relationship. You know, or you say, just like you said, trying to test your husband and lots of test your boyfriend, you know, to see if he's, that can be an expensive joke, because the person in question might be under a serious pressure. Also in this economy, when people are under a serious undue pressure, as you are testing somebody, might just be a good riddance to
But yeah.
But social media is not a bad thing, basically.
Yeah.
But it depends on how we handle it. It depends on
That's
how
what.
in fact, there's some married women, married people as well, who get themselves distracted with social media, who are not really concentrating in the house again because of they are so carried away. Get food bonds and because of Facebook, and it's always causing different trouble at home.
At home.
More so in that area of there's this comparison. You are seeing your friend that is
doing some certain things,
through some things and trying to show off as if all things are rosy for him or her, and you are under pressure.
You're feeling like it's not the same thing for you. You're
home. Not the same thing, and you're jealous. You are feeling bad. It happens to a lot of people, and you're under undue pressure. But this, the one I knew, when I got to see the person in question, we see that this person is not doing anything. He's not doing well any
at
job.
all. It's just for the glam.
Oh, just for the glam. On social media, the person seems Porsche, seems so polished. But in the real sense of it, he's just begging this one, begging that one, and that's that. Another, they have sent the wrong message to the other person, put the pressure on the husband, put the pressure on the boyfriend, and say, you're not taking care of me. It's this person, and that's that.
You know, one of the most interesting thing is where I know. In fact, the only thing I will tell people is where you want to actually believe that this is not even a reality at all. What you see on Instagram is that first. Try and meet these persons in question. You know the way their skin pops,
that's true.
The way they glow. It's so very nice when you see it on Instagram or Facebook.
That's true.
Try and meet them in person. You will find out that glow is not even there. So if you can actually see that the glow in reality is different from the glow you're seeing on, I think that's enough example for you.
That is it.
Talk more of the life expectancy, the cars. I just got a car. I just bought a house. I just got a gift. Some people, we know of a celebrity that was gifting herself an amazing gift only to make it look like a man actually was giving her. And when they had the issue, of course, the man came out to Twitter and I was never giving you those gifts. You're always buying them yourself and make it look like it's me. So we just have to be careful what we pick from online and put it into our personal lives. Okay, well, since we're talking about online, something strange happened to a particular lady, and she shared a video of where a bike man was threatening to leave her in a lonely place filled with kidnappers. Maybe, we don't know if there are kidnappers there, but of course it's a lonely road, and if she doesn't give him his number, he's gonna leave her there. But anyways, let's watch the video first. It's good she actually captured this and put it online, and I hope she's safe now. And a lot of people are like, why not just give him this number, and when you get there, you can even give him
a fake number.
Well, you can't give a fake number because he's going to dial the number. He could have airtime. So you give him the number, and when he calls, you just block him. It's that simple. But anyways, let's watch the video. We'll be right back to the studio to react to the trending video. Stay with us. The bike man for me. What's your take?
In fact, a lot of things are happening in this season. A lot of things are happening. Different demonic spirits using a lot of people. How could you take somebody into the middle of the road, middle of nowhere, demanding for, sometimes we should learn to think on our feet, try to be victims. In such a thing, that this person who knows where the kidnappers are might be part of them.
Right.
Anyway. And so you just give the person the number so you can get out of that place. Because when you continue to argue and laugh at that, you don't know what next this person is going to do.
True.
And you see a lot of things happening here and there, killing young ladies there. And thank God it's not even forcing her to rape her.
To rape, yeah, that's what a lot of people too were saying. And for me, I even believe, I felt the girl, she should have probably found a way, hopefully she found a way to get the face of that man so he could be arrested. Because obviously what he said, when you are too confident and you're saying balderdash, like, I don't understand, how will you do that? And I'm certain he also saw her holding her phone, meaning she was capturing the moment. I don't know the kind of energy and the kind of, I don't know. Well, they've already said it. The Delta Police also said it, and I think police in general has said that all parents need to also train their men. It's not just about training a woman to be well comported, well cultured. The men also need to get this training. Let them learn how to cook. Let them learn how to clean. Let them learn how to talk. Let them know there's no joy in being too egoistic or prideful. I don't know. Do you understand?
A lot of things are really happening in this age, and a lot of people, society is shaping. I don't know if it's an economic issue. It's shaping the mindset of people in the wrong way, or bringing the beast in them.
I think it's bringing the beast. It's bringing the beast in them out, because this is not shaping anything. I think it's just there. And somebody said something. Somebody said, now that I'm poor, I'm not showing a particular lifestyle. I'm not, being proud, being arrogant, but when I make money, I will show them who I really am. Because when I was poor, nobody was telling me you don't have to be humble. You can have your own pride. You can be egoistic. But now he's now rich. Nobody should dare come to him and tell him that you have to be humble. Yeah, I say when I was poor, I was humble. Now I'm rich, I cannot be humble. And I looked at this one, I was like, am I supposed to just delete you as a friend, or maybe you're joking? But this is one of the problems too. Do you understand?
So it's one of the things that has been ingrained in us as a result of certain things, societal influence and wrong values you repeat in society, and they begin to express it at given opportunities. When you have the other person have the opportunity to have money, they express that wrong ideology. Of course. So we need to really get to understand that we have to begin to advocate a proper society. We are the one in the society. We have to begin to propagate these things, that we need a positive society for ourselves, engage, release a good energy in the society, understand what is right in the society. So we begin to learn what is right, because a lot of things are just coming up. Sometimes I was counseling a young girl yesterday. She said she was raped at the age of 6. I was in society, I get to think about it. What is going on in this society? And given a lot of them, in fact, we need a lot of advocacy to keep. We need
a whole lot
about these. How to whatever we give into society is what we get out of society.
Out of society.
So we need, and that starts from parenting, like you said. It starts from parenting, parents, handling the men from home, handling the women from home. We need a lot of things, a lot of things.
Yeah, we need a lot of training. We need a lot of things. In fact, even the woman, sometimes I feel a woman still needs a training in self-defense, both intellectually and physically. It's very important, because at this point I feel like I will not say she did not respond well, but at least she tried. If eventually she got home safe, but I think she tried. But physically, well, if actually there were kidnappers there, what can she actually do about it? She's just one body. But anyways, I hope she's safe. And like I said, this is for all parents out there. Do not train your daughters alone. Train the men. And I'm sure, sounding from that man's voice, he should be in his late 40s.
Yes.
Yeah, should be in his late 40s from how it sounds. But anyways, let's go over to balancing togetherness and personal space in relationship. This is always a very big deal in relationship. Now, some persons who visit, cohabitate and all of that, sometimes they do not understand how they can actually balance, being together with their man, being together with their woman, and at the same time give themselves personal space. Some people even still believe personal space is all about you stay in the parlor, let me stay in the sitting room, or you stay in the sitting room, let me stay in the room. And some people also believe that personal space is I'll stay in my house, you stay in your house, don't call me, don't talk to me, I just want to have personal space. While some other persons believe that personal space is just, okay, let me give him 2-3 days. We'll still talk, we'll still have conversations, and of course, I'm giving him personal space. Whereas there's another school of thought that believes that while giving a personal space, whilst you staying at home and she's staying at her house, at that point, anything that has to do with both of you, anything that has to be maybe a futuristic plan, how we're going to move the relationship forward, how do we see next tomorrow, not talking about them personally, is like giving the man or giving the woman personal space to think about just herself or just himself and his family and friends. So, but I just want to ask, what exactly is that personal space, especially from a man angle? What do you think? Because we women, we barely need personal space. We want to be all over you. If you go to the toilet, we'll follow you to the toilet and stand by the door and be gisting you. We really do not get this personal space that men keep talking about. But in most self-explanatory words, how would you explain what personal space is for a man?
Well, personal space for a man is a point of it, is a state of reflection. It's a state of you thinking. As a man, you can't just be going about routine. There's a time you might need to cocoon yourself for reflection, to think about the state of things, to think forward and relax that. And it doesn't mean that you are not interested in your partner. It doesn't mean you are still not together. It's just a time to just stay out of general discussion, whereby you can think, and that does not even affect anything. It's just that moment the other partner should understand that my partner needs his personal space to reflect on some things, there's no time. Even the married people, we are men of God, we take personal space and prayers, personal space and reflection. My wife knows if I'm meditating, I'm preparing a message for about 2, 3, 4 hours, they don't come near me. I'm just meditating and lots of that. And so everybody, it's just about understanding. There's a place of togetherness where you go out, where you catch fun, where you discuss. You can even be in the living room together. And each of you are just thinking, meditating on some things and relaxing. So personal space is a time set out to our reflection, just to cut out from the routines and focus on other things that you can take. And that's the problem with Africa. In the Western world, in a time like this, they are going for vacation. And we, in this part of the world, we don't value vacation. We just feel that just keep working and keep working. And when they take vacation, they get better next year. They get they're able to think, reflect, and get better. But we are just getting on with the routine, continue with the routine. We are just there. So that's why when we cocoon into ourselves or reflect, we tend to reflect and get things better. So that's what personal space does for us.
Oh, okay. So why is it that when you want this personal space, I don't know, I'm just asking because of course you're a life coach, a marriage and relationship coach. What exactly, why do you think we women find it hard to understand that I need space? And the next thing that comes to a woman's head is, he wants to break up with me. He wants to think if he should go with that other girl. He wants to think if maybe this marriage is working. Why do you think women always feel like that? Is it that the man in question is not conveying that personal space message properly, or maybe the man is already, acting one way or the other, and she's already feeling like, this one is asking for personal space, and she's already thinking 1,000,001 things together. What do you think?
Well, that's another thing. That's another request for personal space. When the communication is not clear, when the man is trying to use personal space to reflect on the future of the relationship. That means he's questioning some things. Probably he's questioning the values, he's questioning their goals together, he's questioning their future together. And that means, if a man tells a woman, please give me a personal space, I want to reflect on some things, I love you, we are together, just give me time. That's understandable. But there are some times when they convey or communicate this message just as to ruminate on the extent or their future together, to get a woman worried. What about if it comes out from this is personal space and comes out negative and lacks in that. So the communication will determine what the man wants to do with the personal space. Probably, okay, this woman and we are together now, are we aligning in values? Do we even have set goals together? Set goals together. Are we going together and relax in that? And the man might come to a conclusion that I'm not sure we are going together. And the next thing that will come out from that personal space is, please, let's break up.
Which is what a woman dreads the more. Like, she does not want that at all. In fact, trust me, even myself, sometimes, the truth is, even despite the fact that I, as a person, because there are very few ladies that need personal space, I sometimes want my personal space. Like, I don't want nobody to talk to me, nobody around. Let me just be. And I'm not really thinking anything. I can't really pinpoint what I'm thinking in particular. But I just feel like I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things. So I just needed to be. Now, I know it's always different when a man comes to tell you, I need a personal space. Just tell me you want us to break up. We can later come back after 2 weeks. Don't tell me to have a personal space.
Let's have love holiday.
Let's go on vacation. Love vacation. And yes, after the vacation, we'll come back together. Don't tell me you need personal space, because in my head, every day I'm thinking, what is he thinking? What is he doing? How is he breathing? Where is he? You understand? Because personal space means you can't keep tabs. He really needs that space. So I do not know. I think men, people have to devise another means.
Once the communication is a strong communication, the woman should respect anything. Once he's expecting, telling you, I need a personal space, please give me some time. That means some time to think about us. You know, so, and anything can come from his conclusion. You know, so the woman should just think about, okay, anything could come up.
But don't you think that 90% of the men that say, give me personal space, end up breaking up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just like they're just telling you that we'll soon break up.
It's a preamble.
Right? Once you hear, give me personal space, they are already telling you, babe, I'm going to break up with you. Yeah. But I just want you to see, I want to see how it will be for me and for you. Let's see if we're able to manage, if I'll miss you, you know.
That's true. You know, but
guys, ladies, I've given you a hint. Pastor has given you a hint. But you want to say something?
But normally is there's no, it happens. We can't force anything to be. It's just that men should not promise a woman what is there and they can't give.
Yeah.
So while get your personal space on time before you begin to commit the person more, the person begin to commit herself more than is required, and begin to dread the future together. That the loss is going to be grieving the loss of that future togetherness that you have, and even the memories and lots of that. So the person before you begin to get to that, begin to plan very well and know all of these things.
All of those things.
Just break, because I've seen some people, you know, I haven't broken up with them. You see, they that mess up their destiny. I've seen a lot of ladies. You know, there was a lady who was dating and lots of that, and due to
one thing or the other,
we couldn't. But the moment she left me like that, she just jumped into one marriage and lots of that. Eventually broke up. And married, you know, divorced in 2 years. And that's almost about 10 years. 13 years.
Oh, so wait, Pastor, you are the one that broke up with her. You are the one that changed her destiny, no? You changed her destiny. Maybe she didn't want to feel hurt. She wanted a rebound, and the next man she saw, she just jumped on it and, you know, got into marriage and realized that that was not working.
The problem was beyond. I tried.
It was beyond you.
I truly loved her. I loved her, but that problem was beyond. I tried all I could, but couldn't handle it, because that same problem I avoided was what the same guy saw.
Oh, and decided to break up.
Broke up in 2 years. And she spoke last week, you know, and I felt bad. In the past almost 13 years we've been apart, she's still single. Oh, with a child.
Wow, is there nothing like laying hand? Well, I know that God is not a magician. He's just you know, miracles happen, but not being a magician. Anyway, let's check another trending video. This is about a man who was just being, I will not say dramatic, but he's saying that if you are above 30 years and you're not married, you have a bad character. But my brother, why are you saying that? If you are above 30 and you're not married, he's saying it. I think he's saying it for the women, folks. But I'm telling you now, if you're a man and you are 30, you're not married, you have bad character too. But let's quickly watch this video. I didn't say that. He said that. We'll be right back to the studio to continue with the program. Stay with us. Interesting. You can go online and get to hear a whole lot, the banter, the back and forth between men and women, but trust me, all of them are making a lot of sense. But I want to ask a question, Pastor James. But before that, we have Pastor Akintomiwa Akintokumbo. He just joined us, and of course we know he's a speaker, as a minister, and also the MD of Upstreams Education. Welcome to the show.
I want to really apologize for coming late. I didn't predict the traffic.
Yes, it's very welcome to Lagos again. Okay, all right. We've been watching a video, and of course, the video is talking about any woman. It started with a man saying every woman above 30 years and not married has a bad character. Now, a lady comes up and say sometimes it could be the health, it could be the genotype, and all of that. It could be anything. Then a man comes out and say no, you have to learn that the bad character, we have to look at it holistically. Bad character does not mean always insulting a man or something. Maybe sometimes you do not listen, sometimes you don't know when to speak, you don't know when to keep quiet. Then another woman comes out, which is the one you met, you know, trying to explain that, see, it takes, this is a full human being, a full grown up. I'm putting full and a grown up at the same time, who has lived a life of certain way, has principles and everything, and you expect that you'll be doing some shege to her and she will just have to keep mute. It takes a whole lot, and invariably she's trying to say that most times 80% of the woman wants to be heard too. They want to express themselves, they want to feel the anger, they want to just pour everything out, and rather than just allow the man keep pouring and keep pouring and keep pouring. So it's more like when she is like that, she's not listening or she doesn't know when to talk, then that is a bad character, and that's why she's still single. And then we have a man coming out to say, see, when we see a wife material, that is this, that is that, we get to marry. So very quickly, because of our time, I'm probably going to give like 3 minutes each to the talk. Let me start. In fact, let me start with Pastor Tokunbo, since he's already here. What is your take about this?
First of all, I always don't appreciate when people throw mixed statements that are not backed up with facts. So when you say people that are not married by the age of 30 years have bad characters, I ask the question, on what premise are you making that kind of conclusion on? Because it's not, I don't think it's true. A lot of things happens in life that could happen to some. There are women who don't put priority on marriage. There are women who want to say, you know what, let me fix my career first, let me make a life out of this whole thing and then access with a man. We may always say we don't want to marry a liability, we want to marry an asset. With the way Nigeria is today, how many people can say I am on my 2 feet before 30 years old? So I do not agree with that statement. Are there people with bad character? It is not gender based. We have men with bad character, we have women with bad character. As a matter of fact, I think that one of the failures of the outgoing generation is that they put so much in raising good women and place no attention on raising good men. And it's worse because look, I'm a man, and we all know what we call leadership. In every organization, the onus lies on the leader to manage the organization. So who is the leader of the home? Who is supposed to be the leader of any relationship? It's supposed to be the man. So the man is supposed to take responsibility of how to manage a relationship. So I do, yes, as a woman, if you have a bad character, that is bad for you. As a man, if you have a bad character, that is extremely bad for you. Some men have challenges with low self-esteem. They cannot deal with a woman who expresses her mind. Because an average African man grew up in a home setting where the man backs out decree. So, but now we are in the free world where women have access to the same kind of information that the man has. The women today are doing well in their career, doing well in their education, they are exposed. You know, so most men can deal with women like that. You know, so I don't think. Now, let me make a personal example. Before I met my wife, I was dating a particular lady before, and I ran away from that relationship. You know why?
Why?
The lady was very loyal, very loving, but if I ask her for her opinion on any matter, she will tell me anything I think is fine. and I said, look, come. If I think I am perfect, then I don't need marriage. Marriage is not perfect before. Marriage for people who believe that they are imperfect, so they need another person to complement them. So I do not want to marry a woman who does not have an opinion
of her own.
So I think I agree. Of course, the way and manner, because I always tell my wife that it's not about what you say, it's about what we hear. It's about what the other person hears. The way and manner you express yourself goes a long way to impact the discussion you are having. But I do not agree when men say they want a woman who does not hear her opinion on matters.
You know, I was going to say something that, see, men, see this woman that you left, she's the real gold now. Because that's the kind of women men now want. A woman that, what do you want to eat? Okay, give me this. And I was like, okay, what do you think? Should we eat rice? And she'll be like, oh, anything is fine by you. They don't have a mind of their own. They are always, you know, putting all options on the man. So whatever he says goes in. Trust me, that's the woman with the medal. That's the one who is taking the crown home, and not the one who is saying, no, we are not going there. This is what we have to do. But this, let me tell you, they don't want that. And like you just said, you just explained all of that, which is why you chose your wife, because she has an opinion, she has an option, and of course you want two great minds to work together. Not only is exhausting a man making all the whole decision. I don't know, maybe there are supermen like that outside. Also, you said something, you said Okay, because of what you said, where you talked about a woman that needs to express herself because they need to understand that they have the access of information you have, and of course, the career-wise, sometimes they are not even looking at marriage. They're probably looking at when I get a particular level, I can stand on my feet, I can help him, I can support him before they think about getting married. I was going to say something. I have to pen you down. I say you deserve a well-cooked, sumptuous catfish. Do you eat catfish?
I do eat catfish.
But do you know who's cooking that catfish for you? Your wife. It's not me. You deserve a catfish, actually. Maybe I love catfish, so that's the only thing that came to my mind.
The truth is that we are an African man is migrating from an African man that we've always known to a different kind of African man now. There's going to be a lot of pushbacks.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, with time, we're all going to come to understand that the things that we criticize, things that we say are bad. And terrible in the woman, are the things that you will come to appreciate. You will come back to appreciate it, because when you begin to know, look, whatever this woman is saying is for my good.
Yeah.
You know, 2 heads are better than one. You get it. I mean, there was a time that full housewife was the in thing, was a reigning thing. I used to tell them in my church that if you're a full housewife in this church, I'm not your friend. Because when something happens to the finance of the man,
what happens to him?
Happens to the home? And look, let men throw away their pride and their ego. Whatever you are earning today, except you are the billionaires of this world, it's not enough for the home. You need someone to support you.
Yes, you need someone to support you. I have to cut in because I want him to talk. Our time is already fast spent. You know, sometimes I will not say pity. I feel so much sympathy for a man that has ego and pride at the same time, because he will never see anything he does wrong. That's what I feel. If you have ego, if you manageable, little ego, little pride, I'm not saying even, in fact, have the pride. But you see that ego is, it's more like a toxic part of pride. I do not know. You can be so proud of yourself, and that's taking pride in yourself. But ego is something that makes you see does not make you see what is wrong, but sees that whatever you do is right. So I always have this pity on them when somebody is wearing his agbada and he takes it this side is pride and the other side is ego. I be like, oh well, I wish you know what you're doing to yourself. But anyways, please, before they yank us off, what's your take about, because you watched the video from beginning to the end? 1 minute, please.
Okay, let me continue from where you stopped.
Okay.
I guess so the challenge about this case is a cultural shock. This cultural shock. The millennials, which are still the one talking about these things now, they are not really migrated. This women equality and lacks that, and the women they are not even understood that this Western idea of equality, it has not been yet advocated or better still understood by men of the millennials. Yeah. Probably the Gen Z will do better. But the millennials should still understand that for a man to take you seriously, what that guy was calling bad character could be the fact that the woman standing now who is opinionated. So they feel any woman that's opinionated is a bad woman. Once she has opinion of herself, they say this way, those scripturally is still not right. Because says women submit to your husband. That means if your husband say we are, and the woman say we are eating beans, and for a woman, you have to go by your husband. Unless now the Bible now talks about love. Yeah. So that means objective. Be objective. Deal with the matter objectively. Don't just say because you are the man, you have to force your way.
Yeah.
But the back character in question is still obvious. A woman being opinionated, and the man says that, oh no, you are too opinionated for me, you are too stubborn. They mistake for stubbornness. So because we grew up with our parents, whom our mothers were submitted to them and that. So that's this culture shock is still in there, but the Gen Z must still do better with these Western ideologies and that.
Okay, very quickly.
Now, when you say the Bible said women submit to your husband, I think you began the scripture, you skipped the one that says submit to one another. That's one. Number two, what is submission itself?
I will just open that. Let me quickly read. Please don't yank us off, Olusheye.
What is submission?
Submission is ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly, obedient, or passively.
So we are not expected to rule our home. We're expected to lead our home. What a leader does is that he gets your opinion and makes the best of decision based on the opinions available to you. So, as a man, you want to enjoy your home, learn to lead and not to rule. Even God
does not rule, he leads.
Come, let us reason together.
Together.
If a almighty God can be telling human being that come
more talk, more know where we want. Yeah.
What can man reason?
Oh, let's just wrap up with this one. Let's wrap up. I feel like I'm it now. So amen. We have to go. Lord. Yes. We have to go. I'm not going to wrap up with that one. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pastor James. Yeah, they should take it home. Pastor James, thank you so much. Pastor Soko, thank you very much. it was amazing. I hope you see the last part, this 30 minutes towards the end of the program. Cut it out and put it on your status. Keep listening to them. It's going to be very useful to you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Pastor James, and thank you, my viewers, for joining. Tomorrow is gonna be Friday. We'll have artists, or we could have usual guests, and talk about what is happening in the entertainment world. Until then, Merry Christmas, drink water, and mind your business.